ShoeOnHead has become a news channel, apparently. Look at this intro. Man, I love her humor anyways, so we're gonna have to check this one out. Let's go.
Hello friends, my name is ShoeOnHead, and welcome to my new series, The Hell World Report. Some of you may remember my old series that was just called Hell World. If you do, you can qualify for a veterans discount. Congratulations! And if you remember the Gamergate days, well, please come collect your retirement. But yeah, if you have not seen my old series, go check it out. I will put the link to the playlist down below. I think it's a really interesting time capsule into the years 2020 and 2021, like how crazy it was back then, and then in retrospect comparing it to how crazy it is now. But this is a shorter, more condensed version of that series. Think of it as a Temu, Jon Stewart, or Stephen Colbert before they morphed into the same flavor of shitlib. You see, I'm better than those late night Jimmies because I don't get my news from mainstream sources like some kind of hack. No. I get them from far more reputable places like Instagram Reels and Femboy Groiper69 on Twitter.
Femboy Groiper 60, man, what a combination. Is it only me, but the first time I watched her was probably with one of her very first videos that kind of jumped into a little bit the culture war / political discourse. And I'm talking probably the first video I've ever watched from her was like from 5 years ago. Is it me, or she looks identical as the way she did 5 years ago?
From furry ballrooms and the Epstein files to OnlyFans green cards and kidnapping foreign leaders, from government-funded purple-haired girlfriends to a potential civil war, we have a very packed show for you today. It has been a crazy year.
Indeed.
It is only January. As I am filming this, we are currently having a huge winter storm.
This morning, snow, ice, and frigid temperatures sweeping across the nation. 20 states under a state of emergency.
Ah yes, perfect weather to make some poor immigrant deliver me chicken tendies. It's
Yeah, where's my coffee? Illegal immigrants, come on. Man, I didn't expect that one. We're starting strong here with the humor. It's been crazy outside, by the way. It's really, we have organized ourselves for the snow. I think we're okay now, probably, but man, that was funny.
So cold that Michigan and Minnesota received reports about exploding trees. Leftists said no more ice, and God said... Anyway, in news that should have stayed in 2016. Apparently, there is a new term women have coined called mankeeping. Mankeeping is why women are done with dating. Researchers at Stanford have finally given a name to something many women have been dealing with for years. It's called mankeeping, and it's helping explain why so many women are stepping away from dating altogether.
What?
Mankeeping describes the emotional labor women end up doing in heterosexual relationships. It goes beyond remembering birthdays
Oh my gosh, emotional labor.
or coordinating social plans. It means being your partner's one-man support system, managing his stress, interpreting his moods, holding his hand through feelings he won't share with anyone else. All of it unpaid, unacknowledged, and often unreciprocated.
Unreciprocated, so men never do this, right?
I hate this therapy speak people talk with nowadays.
Thank you.
Emotional labor? You mean being there for your partner? This is why so many people are just gonna start dating ChatGPT. People thought men were gonna be the ones dating AI. No. They're gonna be the ones with these sex robots.
Yeah.
Women are the ones who want the daily affirmation machines.
She's right.
Yes, honey, I love when you talk about all the drama at work. Tell me more about that bitch Veronica. Man-spreading, mansplaining, man-interrupting, man-keeping, manscaping. Speaking of manscaping.
That was smooth. Man, and I'm covering her, and I shouldn't. But that was a smooth transaction. Do you know what that is, right? That's the sponsor, ladies and gentlemen. That's the sponsor.
Before we dive into the news, let's quickly give a shout out to today's sponsor, a sponsor that can help you with your manscaping, Henson Shaving.
Man, that's insane. I'm gonna click jump ahead, but we do get to see, so let's see her code.
Let's get back to the video.
No. We need to see the code. There we go. So we got handsonshaving.com/shoe. So it's a recent video. Most likely by the time I post this, she still gets the support from the stream. So let's go get her support, guys. Let's do it. Let's get your shaving for men. Shave for men.
Let's start with some good news.
Okay.
The median age of home buyers is now 59.
Oh my gosh.
But that's not all. America's seniors will now see a new $6,000 bonus exemption as part of the Working Families Tax Cut. That's $93 billion in tax cuts for seniors all over the country. And by Working Families Tax Cut, they mean you, the working family, giving another billion-dollar wealth transfer to the most oppressed class. Boomers! Why are we giving these geriatric f***s another tax break? Maybe they should pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Maybe they should stop buying so much avocado toast.
Geriatric. Oh my gosh. I do own a house in the US. It's kind of funny because people often complain whenever I share a political take or a take in general, even cultural, on X, and people disagree with it. Instead of saying, hey, Metatron, I disagree with your take, your take, and here is why. Civilly, your viewer. No. People are like, you're Italian. Why do you even talk about America, you idiot? I will go back, blah, blah. But I mean, what does it mean that I'm Italian? So what? I'm an immigrant in America. I pay my taxes in America. I own land and a house in America. I married an American citizen. Half of my family now is America, and my son is going to be American. So I wouldn't mind a little tax cut on the mortgage, to be honest. But memberships help.
God forbid we help young families raise the next generation of Americans.
Yes.
No, that would be communism. Young people are poor as f*** nowadays. What are they supposed to do?
Piper Raquel, 18, claims she made $2.9 million in a single day after launching OnlyFans.
No more rights. No more women's rights. I am ready for the Islamic Revolution. Mayor Memdani, please press the Islamification button. I know the go-to joke is always, haha, women, am I right? But I think the real question here is, should men be allowed to have credit cards? This woman didn't magically create millions of dollars with her mind out of thin air. No. Millions of men made this woman a millionaire over...
I mean, she has a point. I think it's a problem with the system. And you know what the problem is? I actually made a video, my opinion, on OnlyFans. It got like 3 views, but I did make it. You can find it on my channel. The problem with our current society when it comes to OnlyFans is that they call them, sometimes they refer to it as like sex work, which is fancy language for... If we actually called it what it is, sex work, it would be different, because by changing the terminology and making it sound like, no, it's an artistic expression of your inner self as you do this representation of this and that, then you remove the stigma, and removing the stigma is a bad thing. Now, given adults can do whatever they want, I'm not saying I'm going to make laws to prevent you from taking pictures of yourself. Take the pictures. I don't care. But the problem is that I think it's dangerous for the youth, because the youth see it and they think, oh, it's a good way to make money, and all I'm doing is I am expressing myself creatively. No. We should be more sincere about what OnlyFans is. And I understand that there are some people that just put normal pictures, clothes. I understand that. Of course, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the people that are basically doing prawn. And also, I'm talking about those accounts that literally they have like tens of thousands of guys waiting for the account to basically the OnlyFans girl to turn 18. Well, when do you think they took that footage? So it's, I personally hate OnlyFans. I think it's a disgrace. $2.5 million, that's an insult to the working class.
Where's the accountability for that? I'm out here
right.
Policing the whores. We need some men to be out there policing the simps. We have a simp epidemic. Simps are out of control.
Yes.
Not all of them, though. Mine are cool. They can stay.
Man, I use the word prostitution. She just goes right into it.
Also, isn't this like the third OnlyFans 18th birthday announcement?
There you go.
And the woman turns into a millionaire overnight? Someone a little sus about that. But don't worry, thanks to AI, we are entering a new age of goonerism.
Oh yeah, this stuff. Is it real though? Is this real? Or is it like someone who made a TikTok with a girl and then the guy films pretending to imitate her? Or is it real? Because some people say this is real. If this is real, I heard Critical talk about it. He basically was like saying that this is real. If this is real, it's over, guys. It's over. Let's be honest. Okay? You are going to pay monumental amounts of money to lust over this guy while you think it's this chick. You can't believe anything anymore. It is happening. Oh my gosh.
honestly, what's the big deal? Men are already talking to the guys in India who run the accounts of OnlyFans models. Is this really any different? The internet is slowly but surely just becoming Indian men scamming other Indian men. But don't worry, not every internet waifu is a man using AI. In fact, if you live in the UK, you may get a state-funded, far-right, purple-haired waifu. Introducing Pathways, a point-and-click video game created by the UK government to help prevent online radicalization.
Pathways is an educational visual novel and learning experience created by the UK media company Shoutout UK, with funding from UK government's Prevent program run by the Home Office. The game is meant to teach the youth about dangers of radicalization and extremism in both real life and online.
So, Amelia is based.
This is done by putting the players in a role of a character named Charlie, who must navigate 6 different scenarios relating to extremism. In the second scenario, the player is introduced to the character Amelia, a staunch anti-immigration protester depicted as a goth girl with purple hair, a pink dress, and a choker.
And the internet instantly fell in love with her.
It's true, it backfired so badly. Oh my god.
It's like they made her have short purple hair thinking that that would prevent this from happening. But the UK failed to consider the fact that conservatives love art hoes. They act like they don't, they'll deny it, they'll pretend they just want a blonde traditional housewife, but deep down every conservative wants a woman who looks like this, who says the N-word. Oh government-funded video games. Incredible.
Yeah, on the goodness gracious. On the government-funded video games, guys. I've been saying it for years, and all of those years that I said they're putting politics into games, they're using games, they're turning games into propaganda machines, they're putting politics, and people were like, it's not politics to show 2 gay men, it's not politics to show the LGBT transgender flag, it's just representation, it's not political indoctrination. Boom! State-funded video game, and she still hasn't said it, I think she will, state-funded video game in the UK that monitors your answers and sends the police to your home if you, as one of the kids, because this is played in school, not that the parents know anything or was supposed to be, if you basically make choices and agree with Amelia, the police is going to put your kid into one of those courses where they're going to change your wrong far-right beliefs and reprogram you. We said it was going to happen. They gaslit us for years. They tried it. They failed. Re-education camp, exactly. They did it. Well, they tried, but it backfired. I freaking love it. I love that it backfired.
At least our government doesn't do weird shit like that. No, our government is very normal.
What on earth? Man, where did
Believe it or not, Mar-a-Lago Furry Party was on my 2026 bingo card. I miss when this weird shit was just done underground. I miss when these parties were secret. Speaking of, the Epstein files were released.
Yeah.
Wow.
People found ways to circumvent that, though. They did. Did you see that? Like, people literally copy-pasted the redacted stuff on a document after a screenshot, I think, when they copied it, and then the redaction was removed. It was insane. Something like that. But yeah, Epstein, let's go.
Incredible. The things they are showing us are eerie enough. I couldn't imagine the things that they're redacting. It is absolutely disgusting that these powerful people are still being protected. We as a country should be extremely concerned about an international child trafficking ring.
Of course.
This is not just something we all move from, and we kidnapped the president of Venezuela.
Breaking just now, Maduro, the president says, has been captured.
Maduro has been...
That was an incredible operation, by the way, which I covered in details. I'll put a link in the description of the video. But that was insane, like Delta. But yeah, I understand the point.
Captured and flown out of the country.
In total, more than 150 aircraft, bombers, fighters, intelligence, reconnaissance, surveillance, rotary wing were in the air last night.
First pictures of Nicolas Maduro on the Iwo Jima that he was being...
Why is he wearing Sega Master System 3D glasses? Well, you don't know what I'm talking about? I'll show you. I'm the only one because I'm from the 80s. These are the Sega 3D glasses for use with the Sega Power Base for Master System. Literally, Sega does what Nintendo don't. Goodness gracious, it's next level.
Being transferred on.
Trump voters voted to fix the economy and to afford homes again. They didn't vote to kidnap communists in the middle of the night. Actually, they probably did vote for that. Never mind.
Never mind.
The oil companies are going to go in. They're going to spend money. We're going to take back the oil that, frankly, we should have taken back a long time ago.
Holy shit. This is the most transparent administration in history. They weren't lying. I don't know if it's the Stockholm Syndrome or what, but it's almost refreshing to hear a leader say, yeah, this is about oil. Like, thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for just saying it's about oil. Thank you for not pretending it's about saving democracy and just doing imperialism the old-fashioned way. We have such terrible Middle Eastern war fatigue that it was shocking to not hear about how Venezuela is just jealous of our freedoms or some shit. Like, no, it's just for ExxonMobil. Like, okay, carry on.
The US used a powerful mystery weapon that brought Venezuelan soldiers to their knees, bleeding through their nose, and vomiting blood during the daring raid to capture dictator Nicolas Maduro.
Yeah, if you're wondering why we don't have healthcare, this is why. We have invisible laser beams that can make people bleed out their f***ing eyes. Apparently, directed energy weapons are real.
I did
the
not know
Goy
that.
beam is real. Deep state pedophiles are real. Havana syndrome is real. Hell, it's almost like being a conspiracy theorist is just another word for being correct too early. What's next?
That's the post.
COVID was fake?
There have been significant developments in the last 5 to 7 years on social, environment, and technology fronts that could help realize My Carbon initiatives for shaping the future towards smart and sustainable cities. COVID-19 was the test of social responsibility. A huge number of unimaginable restrictions for public health were adopted by billions of citizens across the world. There were numerous examples globally of maintaining social distancing, wearing masks, mass vaccinations, and acceptance of contact tracing applications for public health, which demonstrated the core of individual social responsibility.
Sorry, I just owe many people many apologies. Anyway, Venezuela has no president. Who is going to run Venezuela?
So we are going to run the country.
A few moments later.
Hola, amigos. Yo soy su nuevo presidente, el señor Donaldo J. Trumpo.
Can we maybe just fix our country first? Can we fix our broken infrastructure, our education system? Can we do a little nation building in this nation? Can a bitch get a little regime change in our own country, please? And you know, with modern American nation building comes refugees. So who is gonna take in these Venezuelan refugees? Are we?
Oh, no, I don't think they're gonna need it. That was fantastic. That was the president. That was phenomenal. I freaking love that. No, I don't think they need to run away from the country anymore because they would run away from Maduro. But Maduro is in New York, as far as I understand, so they wouldn't run towards Maduro. You know what I mean? I think Venezuelans are gonna have a great time from now on.
Only the hot ones, apparently.
United States increasingly issuing work visas to OnlyFans models based on level of audience reach, according to the Financial Times.
Imagine being an immigrant from like some poor country, working your ass off to get a work visa in the United States, when all you had to do was bend over and show hole. Big booty Latinas to the front, tortas to the back. Anyway, na boo-boo, my president can kidnap your president. We're invincible. We can regime change anyone we want.
I mean, you know, when people talk about international law, because that's what people say, it's like, but international law says you can't do it. Right, but is there anyone else with a Delta Force that could take whoever the president of the most powerful nation in the world is? If the answer is no, and it is, then international law is wishful thinking. That's just how it is. Also, el presidente. Buenos dias.
Who's next? Canada, Greenland, Cuba? Cuba's literacy...
It's Orange Land.
Rates are higher than ours. Maybe they should come liberate our dumbasses. Kids are swiping on books. But f it, the Don Road Doctrine, baby. Let's go. America is back. Dick Cheney is looking up at us smiling.
You just wait for Cuba. Cuba is a communist dictatorship. Their days are numbered.
Trump, listen to me. Wait, Trump doesn't watch this shit.
How do you know?
Listen to me. Get people like Lindsey Graham far away from anyone in power right now. This little Venezuela stunt was cute, but we are not touching any other country. We are not touching the Middle East, especially. No more Middle East. We all have Middle East fatigue.
What about the UK, though?
We are done. This whole thing really put into perspective just how weird it was that we were there like for 20 years. You mean we could have just been in and out in a few hours? I guess those poppy fields couldn't maintain themselves, though. Anyway.
You know, that's what I say. You can say whatever you want about international law, about this is wrong, about this is a bully, about whatever you want. But the people are happy about it. And they are the oppressed. So in a oppressor-oppressed dichotomy, that's a problem. Because if the people were like, oh no, we loved our president, how dare you, then the people are oppressed. And so you can say this is wrong, awful thing to do, but they are happy. They are like, we've been liberated. Maybe this is the one time, because you know America historically has used the term liberating for stuff that is like spreading democracy. Maybe this is the one time where liberated works. That's what I say. I personally, because I see the people doing this, then I'm happy for them. If I saw them all screaming and pulling their hair, being like, no, we love the president, then I would be like, no, it's wrong, it's wrong. The people didn't want it, but people wanted it.
Yeah, sorry, excuse me. But did you forget to check in with Lilith, the barista from Bushwick, and see how she feels about this?
Trump said the United States will be running Venezuela! Woo! A colony! Woo! Imperialism!
Wait, Miss Angry Liberal Girl, the people are happy. Who are you to tell the people? That's the thing, though.
For what? So a fucking multinational corporation can get profit!
You know what's funny is I basically said the exact same thing this person said, but I said it less loudly. She has a nose ring and I don't, so I'm right and she's wrong. End of story. I guess this is just what happens when you dismantle the soft power of things like USAID. We're no longer doing secret regime change operations behind the scenes. Now we're just straight up kidnapping other world leaders in the dead of night and just saying it's about oil, which honestly kind of makes me believe it's not about oil.
To be honest, Maduro did tell Trump, come and get me, coward. He did say that, so...
You know, people say I have Israel derangement syndrome, but I'm sorry, I can't help it when they get on TV and say shit like this.
No, it's difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it, and quickly before it's too late.
What do you mean?
I mean that we need to control the platforms, all the social platforms. We need...
Is that why they bought TikTok?
To stack rank the authenticity of every person that expresses themselves online and take control over
no, thank you.
What they are saying based on that ranking.
The government.
The government should
control social media.
Yeah, should do that.
Try explaining that to someone without showing them the video. Go ahead.
Not in America, thank you.
Yeah, there's a Jewish billionaire named Shlomo who wants to control the internet. Like... Okay, man, you're in too deep. No more Instagram reels for you. Anyway, you should have just let us play video games. Now we're perp walking the president of Venezuela down the streets of New York City. But hey, leftists, just think of it this way. By bombing and kidnapping, instead of just doing the usual covert psyops, we saved maybe, what, $1 billion? $1 billion that could go to other, more important things, like defense contractor stock buybacks and... empty Somalian daycares, apparently.
This is MAGA YouTuber Nick Shirley. Back at a daycare in Minnesota, he alleged was a fraudulent facility.
What this guy has done is legendary. Politics or not, this guy single-handedly destroyed Tim Walz's political career.
In a now viral video, Shirley tries to open locked doors and talk to people at various daycares he claims are frauds.
The point is that blacked out doors, they can't give you any information. You call that number, no one answers.
It's not like Nick Shirley was the first person to expose this either, but now it exploded. And the fallout has been bizarre, to say the least. Yeah. The funniest part had to be when the infamous Luring Center claimed to have been broken into the night this all went viral.
Unfortunately, we saw that there was important documentation, enrollment of the children, and also employee documentation.
I love she's shaking her head. Let me get this straight. So, fraudsters are lying? Gee, I wonder why. It's so strange that these two things happen at the same time. So, all the documentation for the children was stolen the night before. And what about the children? Did they get stolen the night before?
That was gone. There were also checkbooks that were ripped from our check papers that were from our book. This is devastating news.
Oh no, somebody broke into the daycare and stole all the paperwork we needed to prove we are a legit operation. Please ignore my suspicious exact paperwork we need to prove we are a legit operation shaped belly. Listen, no hate to the Somalians, but when my family came here 100 years ago, we did organized crime the right way. We would have had Tim Walz and some...
That's, what is she, from Naples or from Sicily originally? Because if she says that, she's Southern Italian, 100%. I know she has Italian. Man, I'm going to love the mafia reference. Let's go. La mafia. Vai, parlaci della mafia. Vai, let's go. Mafia.
Need to prove we are a legit Operation Shaped Belly. Listen, no hate to the Somalians, but when my family came here 100 years ago, we did organized crime the right way. We would have had tin walls and cement shoes at the bottom of Lake Superior. This is just sad. This is cartoonishly pathetic. Listen, nobody is gonna want to support government programs if they think it's all going to shit like this. If you want people to support a welfare state, you have to make sure that welfare is actually going to real things that help real people. Listen, it's already hard enough to convince a right-wing audience that there's more to leftism than Reddit and butt sex. Now I have to convince them the wealth redistribution I advocate for isn't all going to Somalian welfare pirates.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Thanks. That money should be spent on more important things like...
I mean, the same thing happened with BLM. Did you see the whole situation with Cosa Nostra? Did you know that situation with BLM leader, and then she was a fraud, and they gave her like 450 years of prison because of millions that she stole. And at this point, I'm like, do 500, so it's half a century at this point. Sorry, half a millennium. It's half a millennium. It sounds so much better.
New Gaza. That's right, the World Economic Forum and Jared Kushner are proud to present New Gaza. Yes, the demolition project is finally complete, folks. Time to build a Sweet Green and a f***ing Deloitte branch on top of the bodies of thousands of dead children. Hell is not hot enough, ladies and gentlemen. Hell is not hot enough. Anyway, because of all this fraud stuff, Tim Walz is stepping down, which is sad to see because he has to be one of my favorite characters in modern America.
I hate Tim Walz. I just can't stand him. But literally, that YouTuber, I'm not even going to call him MAGA YouTuber unless he self-identifies. You know, I always appreciate people's personal identification. So unless he identifies himself as MAGA, I'll just say that YouTuber. He literally destroyed, a YouTuber destroyed Tim Walz's career. Man.
The first white male DEI hire, the last white dude for Kamala Harris, a dying breed. But hey, maybe this marks an official end to the Kamala Harris era, and we can move on and focus on rebuilding the Democratic Party to something more.
Harris stepping toward another White House run.
No. We are not doing this. No. I swear to God, the Democratic Party is like an old friend addicted to heroin or something. You want to help them, you do everything you can to help.
That is insane. If Harris is the one, again, it's gonna be like the right wing in power until 2050.
Help them. But they don't listen. They keep doing stupid things and hurting themselves. But you just can't give up on them. You can't. You want to see them get better. You know deep down, they could be how they used to be. But it's hopeless. And all your other friends keep saying to you, just forget them. Just forget them. It's not worth it. Come hang out with us instead. But those friends are on crack. Those friends are on crack cocaine. But this Minneapolis fraud thing is looking pretty bad for Tim Walz and the Democrats. People aren't just gonna forget about this. And an ICE officer just shot a woman in the face in Minneapolis.
You can hear the agents tell the woman to get out of the car and approach the SUV. The woman then drives forward. That's when the shots are fired, the car crashing.
As I was writing this video, an innocent woman was picking her kids up from school when an ICE officer jumped in front of her car and randomly shot her in the face. Or an angry protester was blocking the road and tried to run over an ICE officer with her car, so he shot in self-defense.
Depending on who is reporting on the news, that's exactly right. In fact, she forgot a poet.
Depends on how you look at it. Depends on how you voted, apparently. The way I see it, this woman was not trying to hit him. She was not trying to run him over. I think she was trying to drive away. And in an alternate universe, he dodges the car and she drives away. And it's easy to be like, oh, in hindsight, he should have done this, he should have done that. That's like so
hindsight is 2020.
Much of the discourse right now I'm seeing is just in hindsight this, in hindsight that, and it's easy for us to say in hindsight, you know, after the fact. It's easy to say he could have, he should have, but all he saw was a car revving up and going towards him. This has been one of the most insane political Rorschach tests I've ever seen in my life. It really all comes down to how you view ICE and police officers in general. Many, not all, leftists view ICE as completely illegitimate. Same with the police, they want to abolish both. So you're not going to get a real unbiased conversation with those people. Because why the f should a protester respect ICE in the first place? And many, not all, conservatives tend to be complete and utter f***ing bootlickers. Completely unable to criticize anything the police do. ICE can do no wrong. Don't tread on me becomes tread harder, daddy, real fast. This is extremely aggravating discourse, and you should be questioning anyone who takes a really firm, hard stance either way. And like,
I think at least you can take a firm stance. I made my stance clear and public on my dedicated video from a few days ago. You can still find it in the list if you want. And the thing is, though, I would at least appreciate people to make a strong and firm stance after they review all of the evidence available. That's really the only thing. The only people that I looked at with a little bit of like, there's something wrong here, are the people who 15 minutes after only the first clips was released and they already knew exactly what happened. Everyone is a technical analyst at this point. That's why I waited a few days, which of course wasn't great for the algorithm, but I kind of didn't want to provide a commentary that was incomplete. And it ended up being incomplete anyways, because new footage was released when it comes to Alex Pretti, who was represented as, he is this beautiful, wonderful male nurse who loves everyone and helped people. He was very peaceful. And then the new footage shows him spitting on ICE officers and assaulting them, attacking cars, smashing things, screaming, yelling, attack me. All of this while wearing, not brandishing. I've seen some right-wingers now saying brandishing, wearing, not brandishing, a firearm. So stop changing the facts. I still wish none of these people died, but stop saying one was a beautiful mother who then had like what? How he lost the care of the kids for. I saw that there was this, but now you're portraying her as this beautiful mother of 3 children, and then she loved poetry, right? And she also loved interfering with police operations and ICE operations. So this is one thing. It's an incomplete picture. It doesn't mean I want her dead. I would have wanted her arrested, not losing her lives. And then when it comes to Alex Pretti, he's this one. Did you see how they enhanced this picture with AI? This is the level of manipulation. He was such a caring and loving man. And, it's not that I believed it, but I was like, well, he was a male nurse, maybe he was a nice guy and this whole situation. But then we see the pictures when he's smacking things. Does this mean that I wanted him to get 10 bullets? Obviously not. No. But you are twisting it when you portray them as beautiful, wonderful souls that only care about poetry and loving people. No, the guy was going around and he was effing around. That's the reality.
Can't fathom how the other side is seeing what they are seeing. Right. The first episode of my old Hellworld series was actually all about police brutality. It was all about police brutality towards innocent protesters. I was a little more
left.
I was a little more ACAB-y back then.
She's become a centrist. That's what happened. She went from left-wing socialist to centrist.
I was a little more libbed the out back then. But hey, to be fair to me back then, that is what happens when you live in the sheltered suburbs of Long Island in your parents' basement versus having a kid and living in the city for 4 years. The police are a taxpayer-funded HR department for structural violence. They exist solely to protect the rights of private property. Yeah, we need more police. Police are good. Police are great. Give the police more guns. More guns. Give them more guns. Tanks. Tanks, even. My overall opinion
she's absolutely right. Yeah.
Is still basically the same. I'm very critical of the police. I am very pro First Amendment. Protesting is a fundamental American right.
Absolutely.
We can't just go around labeling protesters domestic terrorists. That is an insane, slippery slope. And if you support that, I promise you will come back to bite you in the ass. So good luck in 2028 when President Newsom knocks you up. Whoa, knocks you up. Whoa, what's going on here? Good luck in 2028 when President Newsom locks you up for protesting against mandatory forced feminization or whatever the f it is Democrats do. What do they do? Nothing. They do nothing. I don't f***ing know. I left this joke blank. Something pronouns. Like, God forbid the state ever turns me into Swiss cheese and the president's like, she was a radical leftist lunatic. The people called her Kami Mommy. Can you believe that, folks? Kami Mommy.
Hey, that's a good impression of, a pretty good impression. Now, I'd say that, yes, sure, they use domestic terrorists too much. But then again, the ones that do go around with the mannequin head saying police or ICE saying we're going to take your head off. Yeah, they are domestic terrorists. They're absolutely terrorists where they try to shoot facilities and stuff like that. Or the guy who did shoot Charlie Kirk, he is a terrorist. Really, to be a terrorist, you're someone who uses terror in order to it's a form of like scare tactics for the masses in order to force your positions because people are afraid to die. That's what terrorism is. It really is the definition of terrorism. And so a lot of them are absolutely domestic terrorists.
And some people were like straight up mocking this woman, celebrating it. And then when people were like, what the fuck? They were like, well, you got Charlie Kirk, so now we got one of your guys. Is that what we're doing now? We're just gonna keep killing each other back and forth? Is that what this is now? Like some kind of civil war? Who gets me in the national divorce? Hell yeah.
I really hope it doesn't go that far. All the people that laughed at Charlie's death, as I said multiple times, they should be fired from their jobs, because if you're unemployed, you don't have to put up with that. But the people, and that's it. I wouldn't arrest them like Pam Bondi said, because if they don't call for violence, you can't do that just because they use ugly speech. Let's not do that. But then again, the people that did say, get his kids next, arrest them. All of them. Every single one of them.
2 Christmases. Like, you agreed with me when I was upset about the reactions people had about Charlie Kirk, and then you're over here like, boo-hoo, she was a stupid libtard. Honestly, some of you just don't have morals. You have, like, temporary weapons you can use to bludgeon people you don't like when you have the chance. True. You and all the people who mock Charlie Kirk are all going in the pit, and you can come out when you learn how to be normal. In my opinion, a lot of—
Thank you. See, I told you she's based. Absolutely.
Focus on illegal immigration should go to the employers employing illegal immigrants for cheaper scab labor. I feel like that's really important, and like, we're not doing that. It's kind of interesting that the government is focused so hard on immigration right now, but like, apparently hasn't made any like real actual legislative change to the laws of immigration. Dragging Jose out of Home Depot might work for now, but they have to be working on something more substantial, right?
Absolutely. Secure the borders.
Right? Well, Palantir, the company named after the evil crystal ball in Lord of the Rings,
no way.
Right, is apparently working on a new tool for ICE. And what does it do? Oh, nothing really. Just creates a map of deportation targets, pulls up a dossier on them, and assigns them a confidence score. Because if there's one thing we can trust, it's a private Silicon Valley tech company's algorithm deciding who gets disappeared. Every single surveillance tool starts by simply protecting us. It's only gonna affect the baddies. But who are the—
Yeah, surveillance state, I can see that. I can see that becoming a problem. Absolutely. She's funny. I freaking love her content and everything. It's really funny. Really, really great. But also she presents good point. I think she's really good-hearted. That's why I believe I like her content. It's funny, but she ends up saying things that even when I disagree, I can see that I do truly believe it comes from a place of a good heart. That's why I like her content and I'm subscribed to her channel. Good video. Give it a like. For the last 10 minutes of her videos, always I refer you to the original creator to give her the likes and comment and the subscription. But ladies and gentlemen, Shoes on Head, on point, as always.